This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. The station that pays.
This is MC Reggie Fresh from the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. And today, folks, we got the baddest, one of the best receivers in the business that's in the building. He goes by the name of Hines Ward. What's going on, Brother Hines?
Pretty good.
The first thing I want to talk to you about, Hines, is about your new project, about the Alliance Football Project. I want you to tell me a little bit about it and let me know how you think this is going to be successful.
Well, I think the Alliance League is really a league of opportunity for the players, coaches, and even the fans.
Okay.
We're giving the players an opportunity to really begin, extend, or revitalize their career. And I'm super excited because we're investing in our players, as well as not on the field, but off the field as well. We're setting up job programs, career counseling. We really want to educate these guys to say, hey, when football is done, what are you going to do afterwards? So, being able to get a hold of these guys, because there's a lot of guys out there now are just in limbo. The training camps just got over with, and we got a bunch of guys that are just sitting there waiting for an opportunity while the Alliance League provides that opportunity for guys. And I just look at it as, the guys that we put together, the great football minds that we assembled, starting with Bill Polian, Charlie Ebersol, the son of Dick Ebersol. Then you look at our coaching staff of the guys that we have in place: Steve Spurrier, Brad Childress, Mike Singletary, Tim Lewis, Dennis Erickson, Rick Neuheisel, Mike March, Mike Riley. These guys have great football pedigree in them. So, for these guys given an opportunity to go to a league, to run real NFL plays, offensively, defensively, special teams, and really give them an opportunity to really put it on tape. We're giving our guys a chance to make money, to get paid, and a chance to play, giving them the real reps that they need to fully develop and give them an opportunity to play at the next level.
That's pretty good, Brother Hines. That's pretty good, man. Now, check this out. Now, other than the NFL and college, these other little leagues, how they compare to this, some people might be skeptical and might think it's like it's just the waste of time to have a Alliance League like that. So how would you sell this to any fans? What would you tell them to make them think that this is the elite program?
We're bringing an exciting atmosphere of football. I love it in the sense that we're getting a bunch of players who have a chip on their shoulders trying to prove that they can play at the next level. But the coaches, the football guys that we have committed into this league, that's what's awesome about it, because we're all about helping developing young talent and giving them an opportunity to one day try to make it into the league. I just named off all the coaches, but the players behind the scene, myself, Troy Polamalu, Dustin Tuck, Jared Allen. It's really the well-being of the players on and off the field. That's really what we care about. And then for the fans, I think we want to kind of bring the excitement back to the fans to try to shorten the game down, the length of the time that we're trying to get a 2.5-hour game in. And also we want to make affordable tickets for families. And I just love it because, in a sense, that the way we allocate players, say you take a team from Atlanta, so the allocation, they get Georgia Tech. So the fans have already some type of instant connection with the teams that are in our cities because they've watched some of these guys play the college ball. So I'm super excited to be a part of it. I think we're going to go out there and put a good brand of football out there. And like I said, fans, they're yearning for football all season long. So we're trying to provide that and give them that during the spring.
Okay, Hines, that's wonderful, man. Now, I know that you always a candidate. They always bring you up and voting for you to be in the Hall of Fame. So what do you do sitting back waiting till your name get called for you to be indicted? How you handle that, man?
I've been blessed to be, I'm great friends with Jerome Bettis and just watch him through his whole process. For me, it's just an honor for me to even be on the list of Hall of Famers.
Okay.
I gave it my all. I was blessed to play the game for 14 years for a great organization. Just having my name compared with Lynn, Swan, John, Starward, that's just big enough for me in itself. But, no, I just, for me, it's to sit back. My life will continue to go on, and hopefully one day I can get an opportunity to get into the Hall. But until the meantime, I just sit back and just continue my life. And, all the great players that are up each year, I had an opportunity to talk to Ed Reed and, to sit there and say that I played against Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. I mean, that's really how I made a name for myself in that rivalry between Baltimore and Pittsburgh for so many years. So just seeing all the guys' names that I played with, knowing that I had some great battles with those guys over the years, it's a waiting game for everyone. So you just have to sit back and just, enjoy the process. And then hopefully, one day when your name is called, I'm going to be smiling big if that day ever comes. So it's a waiting game. You just have to sit back and relax and just wait your turn.
Okay, Hines, I know you're going to be a Hall of Famer, so that ain't going to be no problem. But from the course of your years in the NFL, man, can you look back and tell me, looking back when you was playing, what's spectacular that you like about Hines Ward?
You know what? The one thing I look back on, there was nothing ever given to me. Being a third-round pick, kind of battling all these first-round picks that they try to come in and take my job, and I withstood that. And I mean, to play 14 years, giving it all I got, being on a predominantly run-oriented team, making a name for myself blocking them, and then along the way, people started to recognize, oh man, this guy's catching balls as well. And then also, to make it to Super Bowls. Listen, I've gotten everything I wanted out of football. I made decent money. I made it Pro Bowls. I was blessed to play in 3 Super Bowls. I won 2. I was MVP. So I've gotten everything that I could ever dreamed about, making it into the NFL. So for me, having an opportunity to one day, make it to the Hall of Fame, hopefully, that's just like the cherry on top. Not to sit there and say that my ice cream sundae is still good.
Now, let me ask you this, Brother Hines. When did you feel like that you was real comfortable in playing in the league? How did you know that you can fit in with them, and what does it take to do that?
I don't know. I don't think I ever really, every year I just had I had a big chip on my shoulders because you got to understand a little bit about me. My whole life, people telling me that I couldn't do this, I couldn't go to college, I was too undersized, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest, but to me, they don't measure what's on the inside, the heart. I didn't get paid. I didn't get paid incentives to block people. I did it because I wanted to win. I wanted to be a complete wide receiver, not just one that just all they're worried about are the catches and stuff.
Exactly.
For me, I did the little things that a lot of people wouldn't do, and I got noticed from doing it. The biggest accomplishment for me is getting compliments from other head coaches saying that, man, I love the way you played the game. I wish I had you on my team. Continue the hard work, man. To me, that just validates everything that I put on tape. I mean, when you watch me play, I gave 110%. I impacted the game when I didn't have the ball thrown to me. I was still finding ways to impact my teammates and help them get into the end zone. So for that, I mean, I gave it all I got. I mean, I gave everything to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I wouldn't ask for anything more than that, man. I had a blessed career.
Okay, Hines, man, you just did everything. Speaking of everything, you also was you was on the Dancing with the Stars, and you won. So, did you think you was gonna win? How did you know you was gonna be good with that?
Oh, no question. I was surprised. I didn't even go to my high school prom. My agent Andy Reid, he signed me up for it because he wanted me to be known more than just a football player. So, ironically, we lose the Super Bowl that year, and then I had to, I'm depressed about losing my 3rd Super Bowl to the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. So then next thing you know, my consolation gift was, hey, you have to do Dancing with the Stars. So it was a nice consolation, but I went into it really with no plans other than don't be the first person eliminated, because all my guys would just rag me to death about that. So once I overcame week one, man, I just gave it all I got, took all the things that I applied throughout my NFL career and applied it to Dancing with the Stars. I put in the time, I put in the hard work, and luckily for me, I walked away with the Mirror Ball trophy. Let me tell you, that changed my life forever, because I'm probably more recognized for Dancing with the Stars in the 14 years that I played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. How crazy is that?
It ain't really crazy, bro. But what made you want to sign up for the Dancing with the Stars?
I don't know why I signed up for Dancing with the Stars, but at the end of the day, man, I never want to look back on life and say, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have did that. Man, I'm living life to the fullest. Every opportunity I get that's presented themselves, man, I took full advantage. I've done Dancing with the Stars. I've done the Ironman competition in Kona, Hawaii. Now I'm a part of the Alliance Football League, man. Things are just continuing to get better and better. So I never want to look back on life and say, man, I wish I would have done it. I'm taking full advantage of all my opportunities.
Okay, Brother Hines, before I let you go, you know we got to talk about the Steelers, man. I don't know what's going on with my team, man. Your team as well. What is going on, man? Drama then. It's not like Pittsburgh to have all this stuff going on. And we're going to start with, since Bell was one of the main topics, we're going to start with Antonio Brown. Let's talk about AB. What's your reaction on AB?
I'm a little embarrassed in the sense that, that's not the Steelers culture. We're not really big on kind of having off-the-field issues with a lot of different guys.
I know.
But Antonio Brown, I understand he's a passionate guy. He wants to win more than anybody in the world. But in this case, I kind of think he's wrong for the outburst. When things aren't going good, a lot of people look at your leaders on the team, the players, the guys who are doing it, and they want to see how you respond to adversity. And so it's something that I wouldn't have done. I get it. You're frustrated. You want to win. But at the same time, having outbursts like that doesn't do anybody any justice. And I know one thing, they have to get it together right, because this coming Monday night, it's a big game down in Tampa. Tampa's playing well, so the Steelers can't afford to lose that game, or things can really get bad in Pittsburgh. So I think I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they go down in Tampa on Monday night. I think they can
prime time
get a win, and winning solves everything. You get back on the winning track. All this other stuff is just outside noise. But if they don't win down there, I don't know. I'll be shocked to see you have some more issues down there if the Steelers doesn't. They start the season off 0-2-1.
And we definitely can't have that daggone record. Oh no, it'd be horrible. But anyway, let's talk about social media, AB on social media. When you played, it was out. I guess social media just came out. So what's your intake? Ain't you glad that you didn't play in that era? What you think about that?
Yeah, and that's the case. The younger generation, luckily I was on the tail end of my career with social media, but, that's what these younger generations are doing. I see guys posting tweets right before we go out before the game. And I was like, come on, let's get your mind right. Let's get on the game. Why are you worrying about fans that are chiming in at some point? Let them chime in later. But, I just think you can never react to a fan's comment. You're always going, that's what the social media world is all about. It gives everyone a platform to say and do anything they want to do. But we as athletes, when you respond to some of the noise
take you out of your game
on social media, it's a lose-lose situation, because the media is going to take it and they're going to run with it, and it's just distractions that you don't need. So, Antonio Brown, I know he's all about social media, but there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes by responding to it, you dig yourself in a deeper hole by doing that. So I get it from Antonio. He's fun. He's energetic. He wants this connection with his fans, but like I say, there's a time and a place for everything. I just want him to I would like for him to just focus on football, find a way to get this thing back on track in Pittsburgh. And like I say, it's all about winning football games. And that should be the main priority in all the players' careers.
Now we're going to talk about Mike Tomlin. They said that he don't have control of his team. So check it out. Mike Tomlin is a disciplined coach. A lot of people don't understand. Brother Mike, when he's on the field, he don't show emotion because that's what they supposed to do. The coaches, they do their job. Mike Tomlin is a coach that he don't intervene with your coaching. That's why he hired you. That's why the Steelers hired you. So he don't say nothing. But let's believe this though, fan. Mike Tomlin ain't no joke. He will let you know he in charge. See now, last week when we played Sunday, when we got beat by the Chiefs, when we was 21-0, it's really a halftime talk, but he couldn't wait that long. You see him on the sideline, he had to get him right. And as you know, when Tomlin start talking, then the game is tied up. So what's your intake on Mike Tomlin and what you think about the coach?
I don't know about that. I mean, it's just a lot of the stuff is really out of his hands. I mean, Le'Veon Bell holding out. I mean, there's really nothing that he can do about that. That is a business decision that Le'Veon Bell made. But, you know, all the things within the house and stuff like that, other guys talking about that, I don't know if that's much on Mike Tomlin or much of the leaders on the football team. I think they all have it to take part in to the distraction that's going on, not just Tomlin, but the leaders on the team as well. But like I say, I mean, it's just a matter of just focusing and getting back to winning ball games because the Steelers have too much talent for them to be where they are right now.
Exactly.
So I think that's just the frustration within the organization and stuff like that. So it's easier to point fingers when things aren't going well. So, but to solve that is to go out there and win football games. So I think right now it's all about Tampa Bay Buccaneers and just finding a way to go down there on the road and try to beat still one in Tampa Bay's backyard because they're playing good football. They're surprisingly good with Fitzpatrick doing his thing down there. They're 2-0, so it's going to be a tough challenge for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now on Le'Veon Bell, Brother Hines, what you think about the offensive line calling him out and stuff about his financial business and stuff like that? Was you surprised about that?
Yeah, very surprised. That's something that is an unwritten rule for anyone because you might be in that position one day. And like I said, that was a business decision between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Le'Veon Bell. And if you're not a part of that business decision, you really shouldn't comment at all. And so I was surprised to hear that. You know, I just think, you know, that kind of got blown out of proportion because now everyone's talking about that rather than focusing on going up to Cleveland and trying to beat the Cleveland Browns. So you got to think Cleveland, that's their Super Bowl every time they play Pittsburgh. So I think if you don't go in there and mentally prepared and mentally focused, then, you know, what happened. You walk away out of there with a tie, and it feels like a loss. So for those guys like that, just focus on football and don't worry about the stuff that don't really matter. And let Le'Veon Bell's situation, it would handle itself whenever he decides to come back or if he decides to come back. You know, it's none of my business. As a player, as a teammate, I want everyone to get as much money as they possibly can because the day that the team no longer needs you, chances are you're going to get cut. So that's why you don't really want to talk about anyone's contract or anyone's business in that sense.
And the last one for you, Hines Ward, what do you think about the Cleveland Browns? You mentioned them. What do you think about that quarterback? You think they found them a new quarterback coming in for Taylor when he went down? What's your intake on the quarterback in the Cleveland Browns?
You know what it is. You know, I get it. I have family, my wife's family. They're all Cleveland Browns fans. But no, it's exciting. I think Baker Mayfield, what he's done, he played against Georgia out there at the Rose Bowl, man. The guy's an athlete, he's a competitor, and it's a reason why you go number one overall. So, to me, I think you draft a guy to be your quarterback, put him in, and let him take his lumps. You know, let him learn the game because he's your future. So, I just love the moxie that he has in him. I like his swag. The guy is full of confidence. I think that's something that you need to have at that position, at quarterback position. And, you know, Tyrod Taylor is a great player. I like Tyrod, but like I said, you don't draft the number one overall pick to sit on the bench. And just let him go out there and play. You take your lumps and let him learn the game by going out there and playing. And I think that he's exciting, and for Cleveland to get their first win in I don't know however many games or years, excited for them to do that.
And there you have it, folks. Brother Hines Ward, legendary two-time world champs for the Pittsburgh Steelers, also MVP. Thanks again for being on my show, Hines, and you always welcome to be on the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
Thank you. Anytime.
This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.